What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Upward Elementary. I don't play here that much, so it's difficult for me to remember. Upward Elementary, it's a little bit breezy, and the Venom sometimes gets a little squirrely. I think because it is a little bit more gradual from the from the wing to the dome. So we're gonna try out something else. And I brought 3 different options so I can try to see which one of these might be the best option. One of these is just a stock Halo Star Destroyer. This disc is amazing. I've never thrown this one before. This is the Henna Blumrus Halo Star, I think it's Proto Glow Halo Star Destroyer. And then a stock Champion Destroyer. This one is pretty flat. So, gonna go ahead and we're not gonna throw necessarily every destroyer off of every T-pad, but we are going to always throw a Venom and a destroyer off of every T-pad. Right here, let's go ahead and just rip off a couple of forehands just to see. Oh, I think I cut the curve and stayed OB. Let's go Champ Destroyer now. That one might be the most torque resistant out of all of these. It is the flattest. Let's go just stock Halo Star. And now for the Tour Series. Based off of those throws, I think the Venom's the straightest. You would think something made for Anthony Barella would be just super beef. But the Venom actually has, especially in this titanium plastic, it has a pretty good dome, and the wing's really not that high. So it does glide pretty well, which makes it a little squirrely in the headwinds or crosswinds. A little less torque resistant on a forehand. And the most overstable, I think, is gonna be that Champion one, just because of how incredibly flat it is. It's gonna be overstable just because it doesn't have time to glide, it just wants to drop. Let's go pick these up, and yeah, Venom stayed OB. That's 1 point for the destroyers. Let's go head to a backhand hole. So as far as order of stabilities, I think it goes in this order. So just the stock Champion Destroyer, depending on... Now, I personally went in and picked out each of these destroyers, specifically looking at their profiles, their wing shapes. So not every destroyer is going to fly exactly the same way as every other destroyer, but if you can go and pick them out, I think a good flat top Champion Destroyer probably going to be the most slicey overstable. This Halo Destroyer is overstable and wants to fight back, but this really high pop top dome definitely helps give it a lot of distance. This seems to hold straighter for a little bit longer. Not quite as much dome, but it does hold straighter before it fades out. And then this Venom just has some drift to it. We're gonna go ahead and throw these out flat, so whatever cross headwind is gonna happens. It might turn into a flex shot. We are gonna go most overstable to least stable. Yeah, most to least right here. That -1 from the Destroyer wanted it to stay straight, but it's pretty flat and it doesn't have the glide to just keep pushing. This one does. Tiny bit of hyzer on the release. That was user error on my part, but it did flip to flat. Tiny little bit of a drift right before a very reliable, very consistent fade to the left. How does this Tour Series handle? A good bit straighter. That extra pop top dome that the normal stock Halo Star has gives it that little bit less flippiness, whereas the slightly flatter Tour Series disc is going, because it doesn't have as much dome, when it does flip, it's going to flip a little bit quicker. So it flipped really quick to that angle, but then it just kind of held that angle and flexed back. Two different shot shapes from the same mold, and I could see myself backing both of those. This one just, let's throw it. More of a hyzer release than the Tour Series Destroyer came out on, and it had practically the exact same shot shape. I don't think the Venom is stable enough for this slot. The Venom is just a couple of throws and it started flying too much like the Cloud Breakers. Now, it's still more reliable than a Cloud Breaker, but it doesn't fit what I wanted it to do. That Halo Destroyer, the stock Star Halo Star, feels almost perfect. I really like those flights. As far as distance goes, these three were all about the same. And this one was about 75 feet farther. Something about the way that this Tour Series is molded up or domes up, this may be just an absolute bomber destroyer. And I don't think it has the stability, because it has like the same stability as this. I don't think it has the stability to be that reliable wind fighter disc. But I guess if I need huge distance to throw it into a headwind, this might be a really good disc. So I could see myself possibly putting two of these destroyers in the bag. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and release on a hyzer. Punch them out on a hyzer. Punch them out there pretty hard. How much do they flip up and how far before they dump off left? We're gonna start and go actually reverse order. We're gonna go Venom first. See how it's so straight. Even that went further. It had more fade to it. All right, Halo, just normal stock, Halo stock. That is reliable. More wind gust. I was worried you guys were gonna fall over, and I threw it harder than the other two throws. Still came back pretty reliably, pretty sweeping hyzery. Let's see what this one will do. A little bit too low to fade, but that is the thing with super flat discs. If you can get them on a line, but just keep it low, they don't have time to fade. before they hit the ground, because there's just not that much glide to them. I need to do another battle between that Tour Series Destroyer and the Cloudbreaker that's in my bag right now, because I think that one might be more reliable than the Cloudbreaker, but do approximately the same shape when there isn't as much wind. At least that's my theory, based off of the couple of throws I've had with it so far. It's amazing, but I think the Venom is coming out. I think I am going to put that Halo Star Destroyer in the bag. It is just perfection. Another shot where the Venom would kind of get me in trouble was a shot like this. It's headwindy. There's a lot of wind out, but I need to get a flex shot, but I don't want to have to release it on hyzer. And the Venom would sometimes just not really come back. We're going to go ahead and throw the 2 Halo Star Destroyers and then the Venom, see what we can get. I'm really liking this one so far. I don't know if I could have drawn it up any better. Now this one, which is probably going to get a little bit more turned to the right. I caught this wood barrier with my heel and it didn't let me rotate through, so that was a weird throw. Kind of hurt a little bit. So I'm going to try to throw from like maybe one step further back. We'll try the Venom, same thing. The Venom just doesn't, it either would turn over too much or I just couldn't get enough in the air, so it would just cut roll. I don't know what it is about the Destroyer rim, something about it. And I've talked about this before in the DD3 video, where the Destroyer has this extra little like nose bubble that you find on the PDs. It makes it sit very slightly differently in your hand, but that slight micro millimeter adjustments is the difference between cut roll at about 100 feet or out there with a jump putt for a eagle. Venom's out, Destroyer's in. Let's go throw one final tee shot, close this out. Not everybody gets to see these, and most pink dogwoods are not quite this brilliant, but it's also right there. One last set of tee shots. Let's go ahead and throw all 4. There is a ripping headwind and we need these to turn over, but also need them to come back so they don't finish OB. We're gonna go with the 2 Halo Stars first, and then Champion Destroyer, and then the Venom to close us out. Or no, let's just throw the 3 that we threw off the last tee pad. We're gonna do approximately the same shot. We just need this to be higher. We don't have to keep it as low. Yeah, it'll fight the wind. I think that'll be great. That's also going to give me more push, more distance than a PD2 or the Panic on that Anheuser line, but it still has the stability to not lose its stability. This one might hold a turn. Hopefully it'll hold a turn a little. It's going to be a bomber disc. That one's going to be just a tiny bit shy of my Mayhem, I think, as far as distance on flat, calm days. But when the wind picks up, that's going to go further. When the wind's calmer, the Mayhem's going to go further. All right, time for the Venom. It flies. So for Anthony Barella, it flies like a fairway driver, like a really, really, really long range fairway driver. And even right now, it's flying a little bit more like a fairway driver. It just doesn't have that distance driver into flight stability, and it's just kind of panning out and sitting, panning out and sliding, panning out and scooting. It's not really panning out and flexing and skipping. It's just not quite overstable enough for this specific slot. And for that reason, it's out. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. Definitely helps me out as well. And I know it is a little bit of money a month, but if you guys join the memberships as well, you'll be entered into a monthly giveaway disc every month. Until next time, see you out on the course.